go through this. This is nothing unusual. I go through this with every semester, and I'm talking to the same people, the same 10% that don't read, that don't follow directions, that don't listen. And I'm only talking out of 90 students. I've got 6 classes, anywhere from 15 to 20 students in each class. I've got about 90 students. I think actually I got 88 to 92, somewhere in there. And I always get 2 or 3 emails and 5 or 6 emails. So you're talking about 8 people out of 90. So you're talking about 10%. Okay. The first thing I'm going to talk about, I've got about 3 emails / communications / teams / text / emails, however you want to say it, telling me that they missed some questions on the test and they believe they should get it right. I had one person send me pictures. I had one person copy and paste, and I had one person proceed to write out in their email exactly what questions and what, and I ignored all 3 of the emails. Why did I ignore the emails? And why did I not reply to those emails? Somebody's supposed to tell me why.
I don't have like an exact answer, but I think it's because, you know, they don't have an excuse. I think that's...
Well, that's right. They don't have an excuse, but that's not the answer. I appreciate it.
Okay.
How are you supposed to challenge a question on the test?
See you after class.
That's it. You don't have to email me. You don't have to see me. I mean, you don't have to send me pictures. The proper procedure is to, now you can send me an email to say, Hubert, I need to see you after class Tuesday or whatever. Or you could just tell me at the beginning of class, or you could tell me at the end of class, or you could put in the chat, Hubert, I need to see you after class, and then we'll go to a separate chat and I'll pull up your test and we'll look at it. All this sending me pictures and writing down every single question, and that's just extra work for you. I don't understand. And the bonus question, there's a bonus question on the test that says, how are you supposed to challenge questions on a test? You see Hubert after class. Again, I don't know if I'm talking about anybody in here or not because I didn't look at the names. Because when I see them, I just delete them because that's not my procedure. Okay? And in the classroom, I'm the boss. You're not. So what I say is what I do. And I'm not going to say any more on it. And I don't even know if there's anybody in here that did that. I'm doing this. I'm doing it today. And I did it yesterday with my classes. I'm talking to those 8 or 9 students that did what I'm talking about today. And those were 3 or 4. The other 5 or 6 wrote me emails telling me that they didn't know how to use their calculator, told me they didn't know how to do a certain section, told me that they had problems with these questions and had to get tutoring on it. And I have a problem with all 3 of those because how do I conduct my class and what is my pedagogy or my methods about answering questions, homework questions? How do I do that in my classes? Anybody want to volunteer that information? Anybody? What are you supposed to do each time I go over a section? What are you assigned to do at home?
That section.
That section.
Yes, it's called homework, right? And what are you supposed to do if you have a question about the homework?
Send it in to you.
And then what do I do the next class period?
Go over it.
I go over it. And also, what I do with each one of my classes, what I do via Teams, what do I do? And I post it on YouTube. What I do?
You record it so we can watch it later.
Exactly. So I don't understand how people say they can't. And one of the persons that I went back and looked at the section, what they were, and guess when's the last time they worked on homework? October the 1st. It's October the 15th. Okay. So again, I'm probably not talking to anybody in here because this is an algebra class and you have to stay pretty much on top of algebra. But you're going to send me a email that says you're frustrated with the class because you can't get the material, you don't know how to use your calculator, and I give you chances to send me homework questions, and you haven't done the homework since October 1st, and probably you haven't looked at the recordings because I go over everything and I record it. Does anybody have any idea why I'm bitching about this?
You have every right to bitch about it.
I'm sorry, what, Miss Ridings?
I said you have every right to bitch about it. This class is great. They should.
Okay, thank you. And again, I don't think it's this class. I think, and I know when I was a terrible math student or a less than average math student, like in the 8th and 9th grade, when after my 7th grade nightmare, I would just not do any homework, and then I would get frustrated because I'd try to do it all at one time and I couldn't do it. And I think that's a little bit of what's going on here. I think that some students are trying to do it their way, and their way is broke. And I'm sorry, but I'm not doing it their way. And the good thing about being somewhere for 25 years is my boss knows how I do things. And she knows I have to go over homework problems every day. And I'm not worried about it. But I think that people need to get with the program if they're going to, if you're going to be in college, you've got to realize that the college instructor is the boss. And that boss, now, while we do respect, and I do respect that y'all pay the bills and y'all pay my paycheck, I understand that. But as far as procedure and pedagogy and methods, you follow what the instructor tells you to do. Okay? Now, outside of that pedagogy, if I do anything crazy, then yes, you have a right to fuss about it. But asking you to turn in homework problems within a couple of days of the class and to turn in questions, I don't think that's asking too much. And to use the recordings, because you can hit rewind on the recordings when you don't understand how to use your calculator or you don't understand a concept, you can hit rewind. For those of you that don't know how videos work, you can hit rewind. Okay? And that's my rant, bitch over. So anyway, I'm just a little bit frustrated about that because I'm not as frustrated about the questions about challenging test questions. I'm not as mad about that as I am about somebody saying they don't know how to use their calculator when I show you how to use the calculator and I record it so you can watch it over and over until you get the steps down to use the calculator or a homework problem. And that's all I'm going to say, and I'm done. Okay, anybody got any input on that? Okay, well, and you probably have heard students complain. It might not be about me, but maybe another teacher. And that teacher has been over backwards trying to get the material to the student, and that student acts like that they're hiding it. And that's not true. In my case, it's not true. All right, I got 4 or 5 questions to go over. And these are all, I looked at a couple of them before class, and it looks like that they are pretty good test questions. So I'm going to go ahead and hit The first one, let's see if they're all in order. Let's see if I can put them in order. Subject. Okay. Delete, 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 delete. There we go. I think they should be in order now. All right. The first one, 3.115/5. Okay, good question. Good question. This is a test question, and it's also could be a standardized test question. Here we go. First of all, you need to realize that you are following the quadratic type problem, meaning that you're going to put it in this form. So f of x is equal to a times x plus x. I like to use plus h squared plus k. Now you can use the minus, but if you use the minus, you have to put parentheses and make sure you include the sign of the point that you're going to plug in. Now, it does help if you use the vertex on this problem. The vertex is the key to doing this problem. They do give us the vertex, which is 1 and -6. So that means that I'm going to plug a -1 in right here. So f of x is equal to a times x minus 1 plus a -6. Okay. Now, of course, why did I put a negative in there? Because what have I told you about horizontal shift? The horizontal shift is always the opposite of where you're actually going. So if you move right, it's going to be negative. If you move left, it's going to be a positive. And that's because of that negative up there in the question. That's the original way. The x minus h quantity squared, that's the original way to write. So if you write it like I told you like this, if you write it like this, then when you put the minus there, you have to put parentheses. So f of x is equal to a times x minus parentheses quantity squared plus k, and then you have to put the sign, which is a plus because there's nothing there, and then that negative turns that into a negative. And if this was a -4, it would change it to a +4. You would end up getting the opposite sign no matter what. Okay, so I just use the plus, and then I just plug in whatever's there. And since it's a horizontal shift of 1 to the right, I plug in a -1. That's just me. Okay, now what? Well, we've used the vertex. Now we've got 0, 0, and that's x and y. So I'm going to plug that in. And I'm going to use pink to plug in that 0, 0. I wish they'd use 0, 1 instead of 0, 0, but equals a times 0 minus 1 minus 6. 0 is equal to a times -1 squared minus 6. A times 1 minus 6. Take that across the river. So A is equal to 6. So here, let me get my highlighter out. So I begin with plugging in my vertex. And then after I plugged in my vertex, I plugged in my second point, which is 0, 0. And I solved for A. So now A is equal to 6. And I can plug in 0, 0, or I can plug in the vertex, whichever, doesn't matter, and get my equation. So f of x is equal to 6 times x minus 1 quantity squared minus 6. F of x is equal to 6 times x squared minus 2x plus 1 minus 6. F of x is equal to 6x squared minus 12x plus 6 minus 6. And what happens to the 6's? So you get f of x is equal to 6x squared minus 12x. And you should feel good about yourself. Now see, this is a problem where if you sucked at it, you would go to the video today and you would watch it and you would do this problem several times, rewinding, fast forward, rewinding, until you got it down. And that's for the 10% that don't want to do it the way you're supposed to do it. So let's type it in and see if I did it right. Six x squared minus 12x. Nope. So I might have an error somewhere. Let's see what they got. Okay, whatever. Okay, they wanted in that. Okay, they wanted in this. I'm sorry. I thought they wanted the whole thing. No, they wanted this. So I'll highlight this in orange. But I'm glad I did it because in other questions, they're going to want this. Okay, so this is what they want. They want it in this term. Okay, any questions on that one? And that's where you ask questions. All right, I'm going to tell y'all a little secret, okay? In life, the best way to get through life is communicate. I don't care if you're at work or you're in a relationship. Communication is 9/10 of the game. I just want y'all to realize that. If you have a question, you need to ask it. You don't sit there like you're weaned on a pickle. You ask a question. All right? Just like going out on a date and saying, the guy going, okay, you want to get something to eat? Oh, no, I'm not hungry. I'll just drink some water. Oh, whatever. I'm sorry, girls. Those girls, they irritate me. Oh, I just drink water. I'll just eat a salad. Sitting there starving to death. I'll just eat a salad. Okay, I'll shut up. I think I got another question like it right here. So I hope it's different. Yeah, it is. It's probably different. So I'm going to erase this one. And I want you to start this one. Same one, 15/5. And I hope it's not 0, 0 crap. It is. Okay, go ahead and do this one. And I'm going to let y'all do this one. I want you to go all the way through and give me a quadratic. Okay, just like I did. I want you to go all the way through and give me, I want you to highlight this one. And then I want you to go ahead and finish it and give me this one. Okay? There you go. I'm going to give y'all 5 minutes. 5 minutes should be enough. If you can't do it in 5 minutes, that means you're a failure. So, I'm going to put the clock on so you'll see it. Well, if I could get it to work. Now, I know I gave y'all 5 minutes, and that's probably double the time what you should be able to do, but I wanted to give everybody a chance to ascertain whether they suck at this or not. Okay? So if you finish the problem in plenty of time, then you, of course, don't suck at it. If you are still working on it, then that means chances are you need to work some more at it, because you need to be fluent with these questions, because I think there's 2 or 3 of these homework questions. I don't mind putting these on the test at all. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to color this one orange, and I'm going to color this one pink. And I'm going to plug in the numbers according to the color. So f of x is equal to a times x. Well, the vertex is going to be -1. So that's going to go right here. And a -3. Okay, so I'm going to plug those in. And I'm going to plug in the pink now. So y is equal to 0 equals a times x is equal to 0 minus 1 quantity squared minus 3. And that's going to give us 0 is equal to a times -1 squared minus 3. 0 is equal to a times 1 minus 3. 3 is equal to a times 1, which is a is equal to 3. And now I'm going to plug that back in to this equation. And that's going to give me f of x is equal to 3 times x minus 1 quantity squared minus 3. And that is the answer to what they want. But other questions, including other homework and test questions on standardized tests as well as my test, are going to ask you to put it in the quadratic form, which is ax squared plus bx plus c. So f of x is equal to 3 times x squared minus 2x plus 1 minus 3. F of x is equal to 3x squared minus 6x plus 3 minus 3. And in this case, the 3's cancel. And quadratic form would be f of x is equal to 3x squared minus 6x.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yes.
It's kind of stupid, but how'd you get 2x again?
I'm sorry, hold on.
Okay.
Say again?
How'd you get 2x?
3 times 2. Oh, that's shortcut. This is shortcut number 2. Cut number 2. A minus b quantity squared is equal to a squared minus 2ab plus b squared.
Ooh, okay.
Remember those shortcuts, the 5 shortcuts?
I do not, to be honest.
A lot of people don't remember them, but they're there.
It's in our notes?
Say again? Yeah, we went over them first week of class.
Okay.
Should be. Okay. Okay, next one. Next homework question. Delete that one. This is 3.119/6. Okay, write this one down. This is the same type question. Okay, this one says x, -1, 1, 3, 5. Y, -6, 14, -6, and -66. Okay. Can anybody tell me where the vertex is? Well, it's
Is it
easy
between
to
the first and
find.
third point?
I'm sorry, what?
Is it between the first and third point?
Yes, that's right, because the first and the third point are symmetric.
Okay.
Okay? These two are symmetric because the sixes are the same.
Hubert, can
So
you change it over to your paper?
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
There we go. The sixes mean that if you draw this thing, okay, I'm gonna try to draw it. -1, -6. -1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1 and 14. And 3 and -6. As y'all can see, these two right here are symmetric. They're right across from each other, aren't they? So therefore, these x's, which is -1, and I think this is 3, what's in between -1 and 3?
1.
1. And since 1 is in the middle, this is your vertex. All right, go ahead and start. You can do this problem now. Go ahead and start. I've got to make a quick phone call. Go ahead, and I'm going to give y'all 3 or 4 minutes for this one. Okay, sorry about that. Every once in a while, my boss sends me a text, give me a call, and that means call me in the middle of class. Okay, so here is the problem. And that is the vertex. So we're going to use that. So that's going to be f of x is equal to a times x. We've got a horizontal shift of 1 to the right, so that's going to be a -1, and a vertical shift of 14. So now, which number do you think I'm going to pick to plug in? Anybody have any idea what number I'm going to pick? Okay, you got 3 choices. You can have it. You got a 33% chance in picking the right one, even if you guessed. I want y'all to interact.
1.
Which one?
1.
No, I can't pick that's the vertex. I can't pick that one. I've already used that one right here. Of the 3 that are left, which one do you think I'm going to pick?
First one.
I'm going to pick -1 and 6. Now you can pick any of the 3 you want. Your whips and chains are right here. So if you like whips and chains, go ahead and pick that one because that's the biggest number. But I'm not going to pick that one. I'm going to pick -1 and 6 because 1 is easier to work with than 3. Now you do have the negatives, so some of you might say, well, I'm going to pick 3 because it's positive. Well, knock yourself out, but really either one of these is the same. So I'm going to pick -1 and -6. Now, if there was a 1 and a 2, then I would pick 1 and 2 because they're both positive and they're both small numbers. But since it's kind of the lesser of 2 evils, I'm going to pick -1 and 6. So f of that'll be -6 is equal to a times x. I'm sorry. Parentheses -1 squared, and that's going to be -1 plus 14. And that's going to be -6 is equal to a. What is -1 minus 1? -2, Hubert. Thank you, class. -6 is equal to 4a plus 14 minus 14 minus 14. I have no idea. What is it, 20? And a is equal to what? -5, Hubert. That's right, class. So now f of x is equal to -5 x minus 1 plus 14. Now that may be the way they want it, but I'm going to change it into the way I would want it. And that's going to be f of x is equal to -5 times x squared minus 2x plus 2 plus 1 plus 14. F of x is equal to -5x squared plus 10x minus 5 plus 14. And that's going to give us f of x is equal to -5x squared plus 10x. What's -5 plus 14? Positive 11? And that is the equation for that parabola.
You said -5 plus 14. I think that's 9.
Thank you. I suck. I don't know what I'd do without you, Miss Hollister. I take it you don't like pickles. She didn't get it. You're not weaned on a pickle?
I didn't hear what you said.
I said I appreciate your interaction. Thank you.
Oh,
I
yeah,
said
you're
you must
welcome.
not- I said you must not like pickles.
No, I don't. I hate
I
pickles.
don't either. I never have liked dill pickles. I like sweet pickles. don't
Yeah, I like the sweet pickles too.
See? Usually people that like sweet pickles are not weaned on a pickle. All right. They talk, they communicate. Some of y'all are going to be in a closet. You're going to be in an office, in a closet office down the hall, and nobody's going to talk to you because you don't talk to anybody. Oh, wait a minute. Somebody has said something in chat. Of course, I can't see it. Okay, why is it X minus 1? Okay, well, I've already addressed that. Remember, it's always the opposite. The horizontal shift is always the opposite. You got to remember that. Okay, hopefully that'll help answer your question, Miss Babineau. And I'm sorry I didn't answer it when you typed. I don't see it. I need to get another monitor. I need to get another TV monitor because I need to put the chat over on another monitor because I don't see it because I keep it on enrollment. But I'll try to keep it on chat where I can see y'all's questions. Okay, so let's type it in and let's see if I got the right answer. And it doesn't say whether they want the quadratic or they want, so I'm going to type in the quadratic. -5 x to the second power plus 10x plus 9. Now see, they want the quadratic on this one. That's a good test. So far, all three of these are good test questions. I would put all three of them on the test. Next, same one. Was that the same person? Who sent that last one?
I sent that one that we just did.
Okay, so let's see if this one's different.
That's the same question.
Okay, same
Wait.
question. So, yeah, it's the same question.
Yeah, it is.
I'm looking at the numbers. So, Miss Babineau, I'm going to go to the next one because that's the same question, if that's okay with you. Is that okay? Okay. No, yes. Okay. Miss Babineau, I still can't hardly hear you, girl. You need to get you a new microphone or something. Okay. So 3.149/12. Okay, I'm not going to even look at this. I'm going to look at the quadratic. Okay, here's the quadratic. This is a calculator question. There is no way I would ask you this and not put it on a calculator because it's just a lot of tedious work. So I'm going to go to the handy dandy calculator. So you would write this down as a calculator problem. I'm going to let you write it down. Or go ahead and write it down right quick or take a picture of it, whichever one you want to do. But this is a calculator question. Using the available data, the percent of people in the world who are internet users can be modeled by the function y is equal to blah, 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 with x represent the number of years after 2010 and y representing the percent. So I'm going to write this down, and I'm just writing it down so I can write down what I just said. y, or f of x, or y, is equal to negative 0.0921 x squared plus 3.35x plus 27.8. And y is the percent of people, and x is the years since 2010. Okay, now I'm not going to even look at the questions because I need to see what this looks like. So I'm going to take my handy dandy calculator and we're going to type it in. And that's what you should do. You shouldn't even look at the question. If they give you a question that's as corny as this one with the decimals, first thing you should think of is Hubert said this is a calculator question. So I'm going to type it in the calculator. So that's what I'm going to do. Negative 0.0921 x squared. Oh my gosh, talking about movies. I watched a terrible movie last night. Oh my gosh. It was even worse, and it might have been one of the sci-fi movies. Oh, it was terrible. Called Piranha 3 Double D. It was ridiculous. Anyway, when you can't sleep, that's what you do. You watch stupid movies. Nobody's even heard of what I'm talking about, so. And I didn't hit graph, did I? Hold on a second. I didn't think I did. Negative 0.0921 x squared plus 3.35 x. I hate these calculators. Negative 0.0921 x squared plus 3.35 x plus 27.8. And I got to turn my stat plot off. So let me turn my second stat plot off. And graph. And of course, you're not going to be able to see it. So I'm going to hit zoom fit. And there it is. And of course, it's not a good, so I'm going to zoom out a little bit. And you start to see, and it's a very wide parabola. You can use the window to do this. I just don't use the window because I don't like to use it. All right, there's our function. So I'm going to take that function and I'm going to draw it on my handy dandy and I'm going to label those 3 points. Now I already know that the y-intercept is 0, 27.8. I know that point. So I'm going to find my x-intercept over here. I really don't care about this one. Why do I not care about this one? Anybody know? Why don't I care about this x-intercept? Because we're talking about years, Hubert, and you can't go negative in years. That's right, class. Good. The negative is usually in an application problem. The negative is usually not used. But I'm going to go ahead and find it for you. Trace 0. And I'm going to go below the x-axis for the left and above the x-axis for the right. And then there's my guess. So that negative exponent, or that negative x-intercept, is negative 6.965. Negative 6.965. And let's go ahead and find the vertex. So second trace intersect, or not max, sorry. I'm going to put the left on the left side. And all that this left and right is doing is just narrowing the parameters for the calculator so it doesn't take as long. So 18.1868, comma, 58.263. 58.263. I'm just writing at least 3 decimal points on some of these in case they ask to round it to the 10th or the 100th. And let's find this last x-intercept. And that's going to be second trace 0. Now, a lot of people saying, well, Hubert, is this what the test is going to? No, I'm doing a homework problem. So I'm showing you what all you can find with the calculator. And then when you get to the test, if you do all this with each homework problem, then you will be ready for the test. And of course, the test is not going to ask you all this. The test is going to ask you just separate things. So 43.3384. 43.3384. So I can tell you they're going to ask you for this one because that's the vertex. And they always ask for the max or the min. And if they ask for the max or the min, they're going to want the vertex. And sometimes they ask you, what if the percentage is 25%? Well, you would draw a line at 25% and find out the 2 x's, where's 25%. But let's see what they ask for. Graph the function for the years 2010 through 2040. Well, I don't know where 2040 is, but I'm going to draw, it says from 2010. From 2010 means that you're going to go from the y-axis. And 43 added to 2010, this is 2053. So this right here is 2053. 43 plus 10 is 53. So we've got a graph, and I'm going to graph it in green. Where's my green highlighter? There it is. This is what the graph should look like. Something like that, that green shade. So let's go back and look. Well, it's not this one. It's not this one. Those two are out because they're concave up. It's either this one or this one. We'll see let's see, the intercept is 27. I think it's C. I think it's Charlie. It's a miracle. In blank, the percent is maximized. There you go. So what they want in 18 years, so what's 18 plus 10?
28.
2028. So that should be the answer there. Okay, round up. So it'll be 2029 because you got a decimal. If the model is valid, the percent of people in the world who are internet users after 2029 will decline. Because why? Well, right there. After 2000, right here, is 2029. Because this goes up to 19. They said round to the nearest year. So this would be 2029. So after 2029, what happens? It starts going down. Oh, I love that test question. That's a good test question. Whoever sent that one, that's a good one. It is a calculator drill, so make sure, please don't try to do this by hand. If you try to do it by hand, you're gonna give yourself a headache. Corona. 3.153/13. A ball is thrown upwards at 39.2 meters, blah, 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 blah. The model of the height of the ball is right here. T is the time. Excuse me. And the S is the height. So I'm going to go ahead and graph it. So this is a calculator. So take your calculator out again. Okay, I don't know what that was, but anyway. Let's go ahead and y is equal to, I'm going to clear this. It's easier to clear than it is to delete. Negative 4.9 x squared plus 39.2x plus 35. I'm going to hit zoom standard or zoom fit. I'm going to zoom back a little bit.
What is the website you use for your online calculator?
Wabbit EMU right there at the top.
Okay,
Now,
thank you.
what kind of phone do you have, Miss Hollister?
I have an iPhone.
Yeah, iPhone, you have to pay for it. But you can actually go to Wabbit EMU, and if you have a Droid, you can download this on your phone, like I have, and you can actually, hold on a second. You can actually have the TI-84 on your calculator, or I don't know if you can get it on your computer or not, but you're welcome to try. But Wabbit EMU is what you use. And it's right here in the top left-hand corner of the, now, if you're trying for your iPhone, I've been told that you can go to the Play Store or whatever y'all use in iPhones. I'm not an iPhone person. You can look up online calculator, and I think you have to pay for it. Of course, with Apple, you do. I'm not going to say anything, but anyway. Here is our picture. I still don't like that, so I'm going to hit zoom standard. And if not that, then I'll have to go in and fix it the way I want to. No, that ain't the way I want it. So I'm going to zoom out there. I'm wanting to get a good, I'm going to move it up and over to the right. There's a certain way I like to, see, I don't like that either. Zoom back. I don't know why it's being difficult. Okay, I'm going to highlight. I'm going to go to zoom window or box, and I'm just going to highlight what I want to. And you can use the window for this, but I just don't use, I use box. And that's about as good as you're going to get it right there. So this function, go back to the question and the calculator. Just give me a second. So this function looks like this. So I'm going to draw it. And I don't really care about the negative side, but it looks like to me, it looks something like this. And there's the vertex, and the y-intercept is 35. Since this is a practical application, and you can't technically throw a ball forward and be behind you, there's no negatives. So I'm only going to worry for time purposes. I'm just going to worry about this point and that point. And that tells me second trace maximum. And there's my left side. And there's my right side. And my guess is right in there. The vertex is 4 and 113.4. 4, 113.4. The x-intercept, second trace, 0. And I'm just going to move over and do the left-hand side, which is above the x-axis, and the right-hand side below the x-axis. And that's a guess right there. And that's 8.8107 and 0. Okay, so go back to the question, and it says, find the t-coordinate and s-coordinate of the vertex of the graph, blah, blah, blah. The t-coordinate of the vertex and the quadratic function is t is equal to, and it says simplify, t is equal to 4. And the the s would be 113.4. And I don't know what they want, but that's what I got. Okay, that's good enough. Explain the meaning of the coordinate of the vertex. Well, for 4, let's see, for 4 seconds, at 4 seconds, the ball is at 113.4 feet. And it's neither going up or what? Down. For that millisecond of time, that ball is flying because it's neither going up or down. It's at a millisecond of doing nothing at 113.4 feet or whatever meters. Okay? And that would be that one right there. Excuse me. Over what time interval is the function increasing? From 0 to 4 seconds? Okay, I don't. Well, it should be C, I think. That question don't go with the answer. It says, over what time interval is the function increasing? Well, the function is increasing from 0 to 4. But that answer don't line up with the question. It should say from 0 to 4. I don't like that question. Although this is a good test question, I like the first three. I don't agree with this one because the function is increasing from 0 to 4. So here is where the function is increasing. I want everybody to understand this. That question is not, the function is increasing from 0 to 4. Okay, and I don't understand why it says at 4 seconds the ball reaches the maximum. This does not match this. Do y'all see what I'm saying? Or am I crazy? I don't think it matches. Appreciate the input. Y'all settle down, please. 3.1 57/16. Am I already running over? Hot dog it. I'm running over. All right. Well, we're going to leave that one and we'll go over that one at a later date, Tuesday. Okay. Just keep sending questions. And I'm going to mark this one as unread. Mark is unread. Mark is unread. And y'all continue to work on 3.1 and 3.2. Let me check the handy dandy, what you call it, the attendance, and see who I need. Oh God, I hate Tri-County Tech. Oh, hold on, I'm gonna go to a different. I have to go to a different search engine when it does that because I don't want to get out of all my other apps. Tri-County Tech sometimes is just so far behind. When it says no assertions found, I have to go to another web engine or search engine. Don't ask. And when you got all your stuff pulled up, and I'm not going through and changing cookies and all that, it's just easier just to go to another search engine. 109, let's see who wasn't here Tuesday. Okay, I'm only looking for, let me go back to enrollment. I'm looking for Mr. Jones. Nope. I'm looking for Miss Sanchez. Nope. I'm looking for Miss Snyder. Nope. And I'm looking for Miss Wilder. Nope. So everybody else is here. Does anybody have any questions, any concerns? Communication is key. Okay. Y'all have a good weekend. Work on 3.1 and 3.2. If you want to play around with 3.3, for those of you that's had algebra before, go ahead and try it. Try a few of them. Send them in if you got questions. And I will cover the rest of the homework questions and start 3.3 and 3.4 Tuesday. Y'all have a good weekend.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Y'all be good.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
One question though.
Yes.
So what exact class are you teaching? Are you teaching 130 next semester?
Yeah. Hold on. There's classes I'm teaching. The 130 is right here.
Okay, so it's 130.06.
Yes. 42919.
42919. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right, man. See you.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else got any questions? Okay, I'm gone.